In reality TV, few shows stir as much drama, passion, and heartbreak as TLC's 90 Day Fiancé. But what happens when the cameras stop and secrets come out? This story is heartbreaking. Recently, Jasmine Penita insulted Gino Palazzolo's mother, even slapped her and kicked her out of the house. Here's how it happened. Jasmine announced that she was pregnant, but the father was not Gino. It was Matt, her secret boyfriend. For the past 5 months, Jasmine had been secretly involved in a serious relationship with Matt. She told Gino, "I will not stay with you. I am carrying Matt's child and will marry only him." Gino's mother tried to intervene, going to Jasmine to convince her not to leave Gino. Jasmine became angry, rude, slapped her, and threw her out of the house. Gino was devastated. Later, he filed a lawsuit accusing Jasmine of betrayal, financial fraud, and insulting his mother. He claimed that legally he would be considered the father of the child since Jasmine conceived while married to him, and he accused her of embezzling $60,000. Jasmine denied taking the money. In court, Gino's claims were proven true. Jasmine was found guilty of breaking the law, embezzling $60,000, and insulting Gino's mother. She was sentenced to 5 months in prison. From the outside, Jasmine and Gino seemed like a perfect 90 Day Fiancé couple. She was a fiery Panamanian beauty, and he was a quirky, hat-wearing American with a big heart. Their story, broadcast to millions, was full of laughter, misunderstandings, and tearful reconciliations. Fans rooted for them even when things got messy. They met online, and their chemistry was undeniable. Gino flew to Panama, and despite cultural clashes and arguments, he proposed. Jasmine said yes. Viewers watched as they navigated visas, jealousy, and family drama. They seemed to survive it all. Social media painted a picture of bliss: romantic dinners, beach getaways, and love notes. Jasmine called Gino her Gringo King, and he showered her with gifts and praise. But behind the posts and hashtags, something darker was brewing. Friends noticed subtle changes. Jasmine's smile seemed forced, and Gino appeared anxious. Rumors started: Jasmine spending more time away, secret calls, and a man named Matt. At first, it seemed like Jasmine and Gino were rebuilding their love. But when Gino returned to the U.S. and Jasmine stayed in Panama waiting for her visa, cracks appeared. Daily calls became distant. She avoided questions and always seemed busy. Then came the money requests, thousands for medical bills and repairs. Gino, still in love, sent over $60,000 in months. When he asked for proof, Jasmine snapped, "Don't you trust me?" Her social media told another story: solo pictures, cryptic captions, and hints of a new man. One night, Gino heard a male voice during their call. Jasmine said it was a neighbor, but her shaking tone suggested otherwise. Gino investigated and discovered the name Matt, a charming fitness trainer often seen with her. Jasmine denied it, but the truth was slipping away. The romance that survived reality TV was collapsing in real life. Matt wasn't just a rumor. He was the man changing Jasmine's world. While Gino hoped their relationship could survive, Jasmine was secretly building something new and risky. Matt was a fitness trainer in Panama City. Tall, athletic, and magnetic, he could command attention without speaking. He met Jasmine at a wellness event. Their first interaction was brief, but electric. Jasmine later described it to a friend as a spark I hadn't felt in years. Casual conversations quickly became more. Matt started visiting under the pretense of helping her with workouts. Neighbors noticed he stayed long after the sessions, sometimes overnight. Jasmine, once private, opened up to him. She laughed more, dressed differently, and seemed alive. Their relationship grew intense and fast. Within weeks, Jasmine confided in Matt about her frustrations with Gino, the emotional distance, cultural clashes, and constant arguments. Matt listened without judgment and offered emotional safety, something Gino hadn't provided in months. Jasmine knew the risks. She was still engaged to Gino, with a public relationship followed by fans. Ending things with Gino meant losing stability and possibly facing backlash from producers and viewers. So, she kept Matt a secret. She created a second phone number, stopped tagging locations on social media, and told Gino she was taking time for herself. Meanwhile, She and Matt grew closer emotionally and physically. They discussed the future, children, marriage, and life together. Matt didn't ask for proof or question her motives. He simply believed her, and Jasmine, swept up in the romance, started to believe it too. But secrets can't stay hidden forever. One evening, Jasmine and Matt were spotted at a rooftop bar, holding hands, laughing, and kissing. A fan recognized her and snapped a photo. The blurry image began circulating online. Speculation exploded. GINO saw the photo but didn't confront Jasmine immediately. Instead, he waited, unsure of what to do. The picture confirmed what he feared. The reality TV romance he believed in was over. Jasmine's world had shifted to Matt. The man she secretly loved was now shaping her life, and her marriage to GINO was unraveling fast. This wasn't just about betrayal. It was about secrets, trust, and the cost of living a double life in front of the cameras. Fans who once cheered for the couple were shocked, devastated, and confused. Social media exploded with reactions, theories, and debates about who was at fault. Some defended Jasmine, citing emotional neglect and distance in her relationship with GINO. Others condemned her for deceit, financial manipulation, and emotional cruelty. The court case and prison sentence added another layer of drama. It wasn't reality TV anymore. It was real life. Jasmine faced legal consequences for embezzlement and mistreating GINO's family. GINO's heartbreak was validated, but the pain of betrayal lingered. The story became a cautionary tale. Love, fame, and secrets rarely coexist without consequences. Even after the verdict, fans followed every development. Posts, comments, and news articles dissected the situation. Jasmine's social media showed a mix of denial, cryptic captions, and attempts to rebuild her life. GINO focused on healing, reflecting on what went wrong, and reclaiming his life after heartbreak. The tale of Jasmine, GINO, and Matt illustrates the complexities behind reality TV. What audiences see on camera is only part of the story. Real emotions, hidden motives, and consequences exist beyond the spotlight. Love, betrayal, money, and secrets collided, leaving a trail of heartbreak, lessons, and caution for fans and participants alike that he watched carefully. He gathered evidence. When he finally asked her about Matt, she denied everything again. But the truth was already out, and it was only a matter of time before it destroyed everything. Jasmine Penita had always been passionate, fiery, impulsive, and intense. But with Matt, her emotions went deeper. Their connection was not just physical, it was emotional, spiritual, and dangerously addictive. After 2 months, their relationship became far deeper than either had expected. Jasmine wasn't just cheating, she was falling in love, and it scared her. Her engagement to GINO wasn't just personal, it was public. Millions had followed their story. Producers and sponsors had expectations. None of that mattered when she was with Matt. He made her feel seen. He didn't judge her past, her outbursts, or her insecurities. He listened, laughed with her, and held her when she cried. Slowly, Jasmine began imagining a life without GINO. But freedom came at a cost. Jasmine started pulling away from GINO more aggressively. She stopped answering his calls, delayed visa paperwork, and said she needed space. GINO, confused and heartbroken, sent flowers, wrote emails, and begged her to talk. She didn't. Instead, Jasmine and Matt spent entire weekends together. They traveled to nearby towns, stayed in boutique hotels, and took photos, always careful not to post them online. Jasmine created a private photo album on her phone labeled N&M for Matt and herself. It was her secret world, and she guarded it fiercely. But secrets eventually unravel. One evening, Jasmine's phone buzzed with a message from Matt while she was on a video call with GINO. The notification flashed across the screen. "Can't wait to see you tonight, Ma." GINO saw it. His face froze. Jasmine panicked and ended the call. GINO didn't confront her immediately. He started documenting everything, screenshots, bank transfers, call logs, preparing for something bigger, something legal. Meanwhile, Jasmine was reaching her breaking point. Living in two worlds was suffocating. The lies were piling up. Then one morning, she woke up feeling nauseous, dizzy, and fatigued. She took a pregnancy test. It was positive. Jasmine's hands trembled as she stared at the result. She knew instantly the baby wasn't GINO's, it was Matt's. Her double life collapsed. She had to make a choice, and she chose Matt. Jasmine had kept her secret for weeks. The affair, the emotional shift, the growing distance from GINO. But nothing compared to the weight of this truth. She was pregnant, and the father was Matt. Sitting alone in her bathroom, she realized this wasn't just personal, it would be public. GINO's name was still attached to her life, still visible, but her heart had already moved on. For days, she debated what to do. Should she lie? Pretend the child was GINO's? Disappear and let the truth come out later? Jasmine was impulsive, emotional, and direct. Silence was not an option. She made a decision. She called GINO. The conversation began calmly. GINO, still hopeful, asked if she was feeling better. Jasmine paused, then said the words that shattered him. I'm pregnant, GINO. But it's not yours. It's Matt's. Silence. GINO didn't speak for nearly a minute. Jasmine heard his breathing shift from steady to panicked. Then came the questions. Who is Matt? How long has this been going on? Were you ever going to tell me? Jasmine answered every question honestly, telling him about the affair, the emotional connection, and the nights spent together. She told him she was in love with Matt. Then she delivered the final blow. I will not stay with you. I am carrying Matt's child and I will marry only him. GINO was devastated. He hung up without another word. Hours later, he sent one message. You've destroyed me. The news spread quickly. Jasmine didn't hide it. She posted a cryptic Instagram story, a baby onesie with the caption, New Beginnings. Fans speculated. Blogs picked up the story, and the 90-day fiancé community exploded with rumors. GINO's family was crushed. His mother, always skeptical of Jasmine, felt personally betrayed. She believed Jasmine had used her son emotionally and financially and wouldn't let it go. She booked a flight to Panama. Jasmine, meanwhile, was unapologetic. She told friends she felt free. She and Matt began planning a small wedding, a new apartment, and a life away from cameras and controversy. But the storm was only beginning. GINO wasn't done. He was heartbroken, yes, but he was also angry, ready to turn Jasmine's confession into a legal battle. GINO had always been a man of routine, quiet dinners, long emails, the occasional romantic gesture. Nothing in his structured life had prepared him for Jasmine's emotional earthquake. After learning she was pregnant with Matt's child and intended to marry him, he collapsed emotionally. He didn't eat for days and stopped answering calls. His apartment, once neat and orderly, became a mess, unopened mail, empty taco boxes, crumpled tissues. Friends tried to reach him, but he shut everyone out. He wasn't just heartbroken, he was humiliated. Their relationship had been public, celebrated, and now he was the one left behind, betrayed, mocked, and discarded. The image of Jasmine with Matt haunted him. Her voice saying, I will not stay with you, echoed in his mind like a cruel chorus. Beneath the grief, something else grew, anger. GINO replayed every moment of their relationship. The money transfers, the emotional manipulation, the lies. He realized Jasmine hadn't just broken his heart, she had used him. That realization ignited action. He began documenting everything. Bank statements, text messages, video call logs. He created a folder labeled Evidence. He wasn't sure what he would do with it yet, but he knew he had to protect himself. Jasmine had taken more than his love. She had taken his dignity, his finances, and his trust. GINO's evidence became the foundation of what would turn into a full-blown legal battle. He filed a lawsuit against Jasmine, claiming emotional distress, financial fraud, and insults to his mother. The court proceedings were tense, with every detail of their relationship examined. Jasmine, once fiery and confident, now had to face scrutiny she had never imagined. The court looked at bank statements, messages, and video calls. GINO presented screenshots showing Jasmine's secret communications with Matt. He showed transfers totaling $60,000, money that he had sent thinking it was for bills, repairs, and personal support. The judge listened carefully as GINO explained how he had been manipulated. Jasmine tried to defend herself. She insisted she had never embezzled money and that her relationship with Matt was private and unrelated to GINO's finances. She claimed she had acted out of confusion and emotional strain. But the evidence was strong. Witnesses testified, including friends and neighbors who had noticed Matt spending time at Jasmine's apartment. The story that had played out on social media was confirmed in court. After weeks of hearings, the verdict was clear. Jasmine Penita was found guilty of financial fraud and disrespecting GINO's family. The court ruled she had embezzled $60,000 from him and insulted his mother during confrontations in Panama. She was sentenced to 5 months in prison. The news shocked fans of 90 Day Fiancé. People who had rooted for Jasmine and GINO were divided. Some blamed Jasmine entirely, saying she had manipulated a kind, devoted man. Others sympathized with her, citing her emotional struggles and the pressures of reality TV fame. Social media exploded with debates. Memes circulated, fan accounts posted side-by-side comparisons of past happy moments with the new betrayal, and hashtags demanding justice trended for days. Meanwhile, GINO tried to rebuild his life. He returned to his daily routines, but the emotional scars remained. Friends and family supported him, offering comfort, meals, and company. But he had lost trust, not just in Jasmine, but in people who seemed close to him. His mother, though hurt, stood firmly by him, helping him recover emotionally. GINO learned to protect himself and be cautious about whom he allowed into his life. Jasmine, in prison, had time to reflect. The whirlwind of passion, secrecy, and betrayal had brought her here. She realized the impact of her choices, not just on GINO and his family, but on her own life and future. Though she had chosen Matt out of love and desire for freedom, she also recognized that her impulsive decisions had caused real damage. Matt stayed in the background during this time. Publicly, he remained supportive, but the scrutiny was immense. Social media users criticized him, and many questioned whether he had encouraged Jasmine's decisions or simply allowed them to escalate. The relationship, once private and exciting, became a topic of public judgment. After her release, Jasmine attempted to reconnect with her life outside prison. She and Matt continued their relationship, planning for their child and a new life together. Yet, the shadow of the legal case and the social backlash lingered. Every public appearance, social media post, or even casual photo attracted commentary, reminders of the choices that had led to this point. GINO, despite the pain, gradually found strength. He focused on his own well-being, returning to hobbies, work, and close friends. The experience changed him. He became more cautious, but also more resilient. He learned that love, no matter how strong, could be tested by deceit and secrecy. The story of Jasmine and GINO became a cautionary tale for reality TV audiences. It highlighted the dangers of secrets, the consequences of impulsive decisions, and the intense pressures faced by couples in the public eye. Fans realized that behind the filters, hashtags, and romantic gestures, real lives were being affected. In interviews, GINO spoke about the importance of honesty and communication in relationships. He emphasized that love alone was not enough. Trust, transparency, and respect were essential. His experience became a lesson for viewers about the price of betrayal and the importance of protecting oneself emotionally and financially. Jasmine, too, eventually addressed the public. She admitted her mistakes, acknowledging the hurt she caused GINO and his family. She spoke about her emotional struggles, the pressures of being a public figure, and the mistakes she made in handling her relationships. Though some fans forgave her, others remained critical, believing the consequences were a necessary part of accountability. The aftermath of the scandal changed both their lives forever. GINO became more private, cautious, and protective of his heart. He avoided social media drama and focused on rebuilding trust with those who mattered most. Jasmine and Matt moved forward, planning for their child and a life away from the cameras, aware that their story would always carry the weight of public scrutiny. Even years later, the story of Jasmine, GINO, and Matt remains a topic of conversation among fans of 90 Day Fiancé. It serves as a reminder of how reality TV can amplify personal struggles and how secrets and choices, no matter how private they seem, can have public consequences. In the end, it was a story of love, betrayal, and consequences. Jasmine followed her heart but faced legal and social consequences for her choices. GINO endured heartbreak but gained strength and resilience. Both learned hard lessons about trust, loyalty, and the dangers of living a double life in the spotlight. Fans continue to debate who was right or wrong. Some sympathize with GINO, some with Jasmine. Many reflect on the pressures of reality TV fame and how it can distort relationships. The story also reminds viewers that behind every romantic headline or viral post, there are real people, real emotions, and real consequences. The case of Jasmine Penita and GINO Palazzolo will likely be studied as one of the most dramatic, controversial, and cautionary tales in reality TV history. It demonstrates how quickly love can turn into heartbreak, how secrets